You are born on the stroke of midnight between July 9th and 10th, 1856, in a small village called Smiljan in what is now Croatia. The midwife looks at the lightning storm outside and tells your mother it is a bad omen. Your mother says, no, he will be a child of light. She is right in a way neither of them can imagine. Your father is a Serbian Orthodox priest, a man of words and sermons and faith, but it is your mother who shapes you. Georgina Tesla is illiterate, but she has a memory so precise that she can recite entire books from a single reading, and hands so skilled she builds tools and looms from scratch. You inherit both things, the memory and the hands. The ability to hold a complete machine in your mind before a single piece of metal has been touched. As a small child, you see visions. Not dreams, precise, detailed, three-dimensional images that appear uninvited and linger. Flashes of lightning, rotating magnetic fields, machines that do not yet exist. You are frightened of them at first. Later you learn to use them the way an architect uses blueprints. You design entirely in your mind. You see the completed object, run it, test it, identify the flaws, correct them, all before picking up a pencil. By the time your hands build something, you have already operated it for months inside your head. Your older brother Dane dies when you are 7. He falls from a horse. Your parents grieve in a way that leaves a permanent watermark on everything that follows. You spend the rest of your childhood being quietly aware that the wrong son survived. You spend the rest of your life trying to prove that the remaining one was worth keeping. Segment 2. The Vision. You are a student in Graz, Austria. You are walking in the park one winter afternoon with a friend, reciting Goethe from memory, long passages, perfectly, the way your mother taught you, when it happens. The sun is setting. You stop mid-sentence. In the orange light of the dying afternoon, something appears in your mind with complete and total clarity. A motor. An electric motor, powered not by direct current, the clumsy, inefficient system everyone is using, but by alternating current. A rotating magnetic field. The current changes direction. The field rotates. The motor turns. No brushes, no sparks, no mechanical contact whatsoever. You grab your friend's arm. You start drawing in the dirt with a stick. The diagrams come out of your hands almost faster than you can make them. Your friend watches in polite confusion. You are not seeing the park. You are seeing the future. The world runs on direct current. Thomas Edison has built an empire on it. Every generator, every motor, every wire humming with electricity in every city on Earth uses DC. And direct current has a fatal flaw. It loses power over distance. You cannot send it more than a mile without the energy bleeding away into nothing. Which means every city needs its own power plant on every corner, and every power plant costs a fortune, and electricity will always be a luxury for the rich and never a right for everyone. Alternating current fixes all of this. You know it with the certainty of someone who has just seen a mathematical proof resolve itself completely. You will spend the next decade trying to convince the world. Segment 3. Edison. You are 28. You have come to New York. You have come specifically to work for the most famous inventor in the world. Thomas Edison hires you immediately. You are brilliant. You work impossible hours. You solve problems that his other engineers cannot touch. You sleep 4 hours a night. You eat almost nothing. You work. Edison is everything you are not. Loud, charismatic, a genius at promotion and business, and making people feel that his work is the most important thing happening on Earth. He does not design in his mind. He tries 10,000 things until one works. You find this method almost physically painful to watch, but you admire what he has built, and you believe, genuinely, that you can help him build more. You tell him about alternating current. You explain the rotating magnetic field. You show him the mathematics. Edison listens. Then he says, "There is no future in alternating current. Stick to direct current." You go back to work. You improve his DC generators so significantly that he saves tens of thousands of dollars. He promised you $50,000 if you succeeded. When you present the results and ask for the money, he laughs. He says, "Tesla, you don't understand American humor." You pack your desk and leave. You spend the following year digging ditches for the Edison Electric Company to survive. Not metaphorically, you dig ditches, with your hands, in the streets of New York. The man who will light the world is digging holes in the ground for the company of the man who cheated him. Segment 4. Westinghouse. You are 30. George Westinghouse comes to see you. Westinghouse is everything Edison pretends to be, a genuine engineer, a man who understands what he is looking at when he looks at a new idea, a businessman with the patience to build something real rather than just the first version. He reads your patents on alternating current. He understands immediately what they mean. He offers you a deal, a large sum up front, royalties on every unit of power sold using your system. You shake his hand. The war of currents begins. Edison is not a man who accepts being wrong. He launches the most vicious public relations campaign in the history of technology. He electrocutes animals, dogs, calves, horses in public demonstrations using alternating current to show how dangerous it is. He calls AC the executioner's current. He lobbies states to adopt AC for the electric chair so that electrocution becomes associated with your name. The war is over. Your system wins. You should be wealthy beyond imagination. You are not. Segment 5. The Royalties. Westinghouse comes to you. The company is in financial trouble. The fight with Edison has been expensive. The debts are threatening everything you built together. He tells you this plainly, man to man, without performance. He asks if you would be willing to give up your royalties. You tear up the contract. Not reluctantly, not as a business calculation. You tear it up because George Westinghouse believed in you when everyone else was laughing, and because the work matters more than the money, and because you are constitutionally incapable of letting a man you respect go under when you can prevent it. It is the single most expensive decision of your life. The royalties you surrendered would eventually be worth, in today's terms, billions of dollars. You give them away with a handshake. You never recover financially, not in any year that follows, not ever. Segment 6. The Laboratory. For a decade, you are the most famous scientist in America. Your laboratory on Fifth Avenue becomes a destination. Writers, royalty, financiers, all come to watch you demonstrate. You make lightning in a bottle. You pass electricity through your own body so that your fingers glow. You propose radio transmission before Marconi files his patent, and wireless power transmission before anyone else understands what wireless means. J.P. Morgan, the most powerful financier in the world, funds your most ambitious project, Wardenclyffe Tower, a transmission tower on Long Island that you believe can send electrical power wirelessly around the entire Earth. Free electricity for everyone, everywhere, transmitted through the ionosphere. Morgan asks you, where do we put the meters? You don't understand the question at first. Then you understand it completely. There are no meters in a system where power is free. There is no business model. There is no way to charge people for what you are giving away. Morgan withdraws his funding. The tower is never completed. It stands half-built for years before being demolished. You spend the rest of your life in diminishing rooms in increasingly modest hotels, surrounded by increasingly few people who still take you seriously. The visions keep coming. You file new patents. You write papers that nobody reads yet. You talk to pigeons on the window ledge because the loneliness has become so total that the pigeons accompany. Segment 7. Marconi. In 1901, Guglielmo Marconi successfully transmits a wireless radio signal across the Atlantic. The world erupts. He is hailed as the inventor of radio. He receives the Nobel Prize in 1909. You look at his patents. You look at your own. The apparatus Marconi uses is built on 17 of your patents. 17! You say this publicly. Nobody listens. Marconi is the story the world wants. An Italian working in England, a practical man who actually made the thing work and sent the signal. You are the brilliant eccentric who talked about radio years before Marconi, but did not send the signal. In the court of public opinion, sending the signal counts more than the mathematics. The US Supreme Court rules in your favor in 1943, 7 months after your death. You are vindicated. You are also dead. Vindication, you learn, is most often awarded posthumously, when it costs nothing and inconveniences no one. Perhaps she was. The great loves of your actual life were your work and your ideas, and both of them treated you roughly, as great loves sometimes do. What you gave the world: alternating current, the AC motor, radio, the Tesla coil, remote control, fluorescent lighting, X-ray imaging, hydroelectric power, radar, the rotating magnetic field, the fundamental architecture of the modern electrical grid, the system that powers every light, every device, every city on Earth. What the world gave you in return: a room on the 33rd floor and a reduced rate because you are technically famous. Segment 9. What remains? You die on January 7th, 1943, alone, as you lived for the last 20 years. A hotel maid finds you the next morning. The FBI arrives within hours and seizes your papers. Decades of notes, patents, ideas, classified.